Hello everybody, I am AngryBird. Right, let's have a look at game number 2. So today we are playing as the second guard tank corps again, balanced income, against Boots, who's playing as the Panzer Lehr, balanced income. Just going to quickly pause the replay and let's have a look at our setup. So on the left hand side we're pushing in 2 of the Machiki, one into this forest here and one into this forest here. I've also brought up the 45 now, but I decided to bring it in a half track. So this is me still learning the game. This was only my second game, so second rank game. It's probably about my 12th game in total, 10th game, a couple of multiplayer, 4v4, 10v10s. And about 5 or 6 versus the AI, so I think I auto-filled a deck and not very well optimised, but definitely don't bring this in the half track now. If you're bringing the 45mm, bring it in the Jeeps, so bring it in one of these Jeeps here, because it gets to the front much quicker, and that's the whole point of that 45mm. You can get it into positions where the enemy's not expecting, or certainly into position to take out early forces. So in terms of this town here, there is a flag on this crossroads here and there's a flag here, so it's fairly heavily defended. I don't think I played this map before, so I wasn't too sure what to expect, but I probably wouldn't put so much in there now because not as much fighting takes place in this town. What tends to happen is the north side will take up a defensive line along this ridge and this forest here, and they will tend to put support guns, machine guns, a couple of tanks, that kind of thing, and they will just block off any movement forward, but less so rush into the town. Most of the fighting occurs especially early on in this city here, so in this deployment I've brought in 3 units, which probably wouldn't be enough nowadays. Playing ranked now, I probably would get steamrolled through this town. On the right hand side I'm pushing very far forwards, too far forwards. It does actually work in this game, but the defensive line tends to get set up along this tree line here, and these troops will get massacred in a game against a better player, really. So let's push forward. So I think what I will say about this game is that Boots, I think you can quite clearly see, is a new player. He's probably played single player, probably new to the Steel Division series, played single player, and he's setting up a defensive line very far back, so if you're new to ranked and you've just played single player, this is kind of what not to do. I don't want to be disrespectful to Boots or anyone in these casts and these replays. That's not the point of them. The point is to learn. So what he does is he sets up a defensive line, here with the same units as well, a BMW, an MG42 and a PaK 40, so here, all the way back here on this ridge line here, and then he has a tank push coming through on the left, but it's too far back. And there's actually a flag here and that he's not defending at all, and there's a flag here which I've already captured that he's not defending at all. So and also a flag about here in this town which he's not defending at all. So that's 3 flags, and then finally the 4th, I think, back here, which has just been captured. So 1 minute 50 into the game and I'm 16-8 up with the double tick. So if you're a new player, this is the urge is to set up defensive lines and probably a bit further back, because generally what happens in your first few games, you push forward, your troops might get killed in the initial engagements, and then so what you decide to do is to set up defensive lines further back so that your troops don't die. What happens is you just cede the territory and then you've got no chance of fighting back. So really, learn from this. You do need to push into the 50-50 line, which I think is pretty much this road going across here. I mean, look how far back this line is. What we'll do is we'll just watch this. We'll just watch this engagement on the left. So he is pushing through some Panzer IIIs, and look at the fire going down on that M45 gun. That's it's quite ridiculous, really. So I think. Yeah, I did notice that, and I'm bringing up the T-34-76 to respond, and I think I bring in another T-34 as well. So I think what Boots is trying to do is he's brought them all the way down this left hand side, and he's trying to sneak round and then cut off the spawn, but sneaky beaky flank manoeuvre, but unfortunately it's not going to work. A lot of points investment here that really should have gone into frontline infantry troops to hold the 50-50 line, and engage in this city area and in this wooded tree line on the right. So we'll just watch this tank push on the left, and then I think we will leave this replay. I do remember playing this game. It did worry me when it first came through, but I have to say, actually, these Panzer IIIs, they're good at infantry support, but they're not really meant to take on enemy tanks. They only have 65 penetration, so even this T-34-76, which is not it's not a heavy tank, it's a medium really on the light end of that, but they can't really pen it. Look, so many bouncers, because this 65 penetration is at 500 meters, and they're about 1,000 meters away, so they haven't got enough penetration to penetrate the tank. So they do get an incendiary critical there, although this Zis gun is getting side shots on them. And we get the crew kill and the crew kill on the other one, on the Panzer III at the back. Incendiary now, showing side on the 76 version, so I've just got to be careful there. I think I was just moving that out of the way while it was stressed out. And then the T-34-85 is coming in, and this should have no problems at all clearing this up. I just put the dozer in as well, just to give me a few, see whether there was anything else coming through with this tank push. And then we've also got the Yak 1B coming across with the strafing runs just to help out. So they do get the loader knockout on the 85, but they're gonna struggle. There we go, one shot. The BMW has actually managed to get into a fairly decent position. I think it wasn't intentional that I brought this T-34-85 through, but I actually got quite lucky there. That recon troop, it could have, he wouldn't have done much else, but it could have spotted at least what reinforcements I was bringing in down this left hand side. And now that's all cleared up, we're still at a 15-9, and there's nothing really more for me to worry about at this stage. This was only my second game, so I have pushed a few Guardias forward here just to capture this point, but for me at this point I was still learning the game, learning the micro, so I was quite happy to sit at 15-9 and just wait the game out really. there wasn't any pressure on me to push forward. I think against, you know, seasoned players at this point, Boots, you know, this game would have been over so quickly, and I knew if this was me now, I probably would have pushed forward along this right hand side, and the game pushed forward everywhere really, and the game would have been finished off much quicker. So, you know, to learn from this one, for me, a few points on, well, the deck, not bringing those 45 mil in the half track, you know, possibly some early placement issues with troops. But I think if you're watching this game and you've not played a lot of ranked games, then don't get caught in the trap, because I think everyone new who starts this game gets caught in this same trap, and this is the trap where you don't engage at the 50-50 line, and you just set up defensive points, which they're fantastic. You can defend from those positions, but there's no need for the enemy player to even push into those positions, and they'll still win the game because you've given them the flags, really. So I've got this flag here. There's no reason for me. If I was to push these units across this ground, I would get murdered by the MG42 and the Pack 40 there, the MG42 here and the Pack 40. Fantastic, you know, fields of fire, but there's no need for me to push forward, so I don't push forward. And you know, those defences, those perfect defences that Boots has set up, they don't get used. So, you know, don't get caught in that trap. Okay, so we'll leave the replay here. I think he tries another, you know, Panzer push, this time with the Panzer 4 H's. Yeah, might have a bit more of a successful time, but by now I've got, you know, tanks in nice positions, and it doesn't come off. Okay, so please, thanks very much for watching. You know, please like, subscribe, make comments. You know, if you see something that I've done wrong, you know, I've barely moved these on the cheekies here. I think this one stayed here for the entire game. I've got a dozer back here doing nothing. You know, if you see things that I've missed, you know, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next replay. Thank you.